In this presentation, we will talk about defining charts, which later allow the application to read scanned data correctly. There are two steps. First, we need to tell the application what the actual piece of paper looks like. We will create a virtual representation of answer sheet's design. This step is covered by the Sheet tab. Then, the second step would be to define exactly which answers are correct and how many points are granted for a particular answer. This can be done with the Test tab. So, let's get started. Click Sheet, New. We will work on this design. It has 9 lines here for a student number and 20 multiple choice answers. Fill in the first line from 0 to 9 with the first and the second column blank. Click this button to switch to green, which means the student row type, as this line's purpose will be to store student's identification number. Other row types would be yellow for group identification and gray, which means other and is used for defining answer zones or blank lines. So we set it back to student type and duplicate the line until there are 9. Now we have created the first block. The next line is going to be 2 answer zones, with 1 blank, then ABCDE, again 1 blank, and again ABCDE. Write this down and change to the other row type. Notice, we don't want to fill in number 1 or 11. This is because we need to define fields only where the actual pencil mark can be placed, so only letters, no question numbers. We can see there are 10 rows by 2 answer zones each, so duplicate this row until there are 10. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we have completed the visual layout. The second half of the job is to define question zones, that is, which 5 letters belong to which question number. Click this plus, enter the first question number, click Fields, and by clicking on the chart, highlight some letters. Click OK, and update design changes. If you move the mouse over this area, you see these letters have been grouped with the label Question 1. Continue to set subsequent zones. We will only set 5 for now. Update and see how the zones are previewed in blue. Question labels can contain letters as well. This is question A1. Also, the fields can be highlighted in various shapes. This is question XY. When we have set all the zones, it's time to save this design. Usually, it's convenient to name the file after the real paper. In this case, Lincolnshire 2745. The new name shows here. Later, we can open a saved sheet, modify parts of it, add, subtract, and so on. This way we can use existing designs to derive new ones based on the old ones and save time. So the sheet creation step is finished, and now we can proceed to the test tab. Here click New, choose a sheet which this new test will be based on. You will recognize the design is just what we have created a moment ago. This whole step is about setting points and correct combinations of marks. Start with question 1. There are 3 ways to assign points and combinations. The Q, which is quick mode, is the simplest. Just click the letter to be the correct answer and click Set. The student will get 1 point for marking A here. Also, we can set a combination of letters. Now the student has to mark all 3 to get 1 point, otherwise they get 0. The second method is called intersection mask. It is an expanded version of the quick mode. We can set multiple different mark combinations and assign different point amounts. Negative values are possible to enable penalizing. In this case, A and B are correct and awarded with 1 point, but answer D contradicts the statements of A and B, so if the student marks ABD, there is a penalty of -1 point for not noticing the contradiction. If they marked only D, there would be no penalty because we don't have a case of single D specified here. The last method is additive weighting. In this row we put points awarded for marking a particular answer, and in this, with a hollow mark symbol, points awarded for not marking it. For example, marking A gives 1 point, marking B gives 0.8 point, not marking C gives 1.5. So if the student marks C, they don't get this 1.5. If they mark ABC, they get 1.8 in total. But if only AB, they get 3.3 points. This tilde represents points awarded for a mishit. In our case, mishit is D or E, because they are not defined at all. Their boxes are empty, so if the student marks ABD, they don't get these points, only this 0, because a mishit occurred. We can set negative points as well. For marking A, student gets 1 point. For not marking A, there is a penalty of -1 point. For marking C, a penalty is -0.5 point, meaning you only mark C when you don't see it as blatantly wrong. Not marking C here will save the student from this penalty. Mishit can be also set to negative value. Now for marking AC, student gets ½ point. For AB, -0.2 points. For B, also -0.2 points. Note that scoring a mishit saves the student from penalty for not marking A. Up here is the amount of points that can be scored if the student makes the best choices for every single question, and here is the amount we want to be considered maximum when answer sheets are evaluated after the students have taken the test. In most cases we would want these two to be equal, so click Copy and Set. Now the highest possible result is 100%. However, if we need the students to be able to get a result better than A, like A+, we can set this value to be lower than the calculated maximum. This way, a perfect student can score more than 100% and get a distinction. Of course, if we set this value to be higher than calculated maximum, we create a situation where it is not possible to score a 100%. Some university professors might come to like this option, however use at your own risk. The second step of preparation is completed. Now save the test. We will call it example. The name shows here, meaning it has been successfully saved. We are ready to get results from answer sheets, so go to Results tab. Click New Results, choose our example test, click Scan More, OK, and feed the sheet. It has been read, and the result is here and here. All the other functions, like sorting and exporting, have been described in the other movie called The First Glance. To sum up, we created a sheet layout here, then defined which answers are correct here, and finally, here we scanned a real sheet and got the result. Thanks for watching. We hope the process is clear to you now, and we are sure this application will prove useful and efficient.